Hello, everyone. My name's Junior. I started on this bottle of Chardonnay, and I'm here to talk to you about the massive return. Jeff Loeb, Jim Lee, Sinclair and Williams, Hush 2, Batman Hush 2, H2SH, because of the little 2 in the U. It's a flipped U. You get it? You get it? Massive return. Batman Hush, one of the best Batman stories ever written. I think it's Jim Lee's best art, or actually second best art. I think his best art is in All-Star Batman and Robin, which is somewhat unfortunate because, there's a consensus on that script. If you've read it, you know what I'm talking about. Sorry if I sound a little sick, guys. It's because I'm sick right now. I'm going to try to adjust this a little bit because I don't like that angle too much. That might have just been worse. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Batman, Hush 2. Massively, I'm going to adjust it again because I didn't like that angle. All right. This is where we live now. This is where we live. Hush 2, massively pushed. It was announced. Everyone got super excited. I know I got super excited. Because I love Hush. I think it's one of the best Batman stories ever written. It's a classic. It's a modern classic, right? I know there seems to have been some sort of change online, or maybe just a change in general, the consensus of how people feel about Batman Hush. I still think it's great. I think it's awesome. Again, just phenomenal Jim Lee art. Great story. An introduction to a character that was really a new character, right? The Hush with Tommy Elliott. So let me tell you something. When I read Batman Hush has been issues 158 to 162, a part of this Rebirth arc, right? The problem is, it has not finished yet, and we have already started the new Batman series, which is supposed to be after the events of Hush 2. And we still haven't gotten the last issue of Hush 2, of that Batman. It's supposed to be 163. And as far as I'm aware, today is April 7th, Tuesday, April 7th. And as far as I'm aware, we have yet to get any announcement about the rest of it. So I don't know if they're even going to do it. I don't know if they're going to release it. They might. They might not. I honestly don't think they will. You might be sitting there and going, why? It should be a slam dunk. It's Hush 2. I sounded like Christopher Walken when I said that. I was like, why? No, that sounded like Matt Berry. It should have been a slam dunk. Well, we're going to get into that. And we're going to get into it right now. Hush 2 is kind of bad. It is actually not great, I would say, if you had to ask me. For a lot of reasons. I think maybe two main ones, really, that we're going to discuss here now, right? Sterling Chardonnay. This was a $10 bottle of Chardonnay. It tastes like it too, but it was the cheapest bottle of Chardonnay Lucky California, right? So let's dive right in, right? Issue 158. Is that what I said? Yeah, I think it's 158. Starts off pretty strong, right? Art. It's Jim Lee art. It's Scott Williams and Sinclair. A great team. Again, the original Hush. That art is just out of this world. It's really great. Really saved, I feel, a big chunk of that era in art specifically. I'm not a big fan of the modern characterization of Joker. I think him being as far ahead as he is against Batman is a major... look, he's supposed to be. He always has been. But the problem is, in my mind, I'm reading this and I'm like, he's a god. He's a god among men. He's just untouchable. There's nothing anyone can do against him, especially Batman now, right? So, okay. Oh, and then Talia shows up out of nowhere. I did like the sequence where, like he gets hit in the head. Bruce gets hit in the head. I call him Bruce like we're friends. Where Batman gets hit in the head, and it like shorts out the mechanic in his mask that like shocks people, and it shocks his brain. I thought that was really interesting. I thought that was kind of a fun little thing. And then Talia being like, "Yeah, I saved your life. You like would have died," just straight up. I thought that was actually a pretty sweet sequence. Guys, this is here. We're just gonna get right into the big question: Why would Bruce save the Joker, right? Especially now. I think we could just say the biggest flaw of Hush 2, and this is something, if I wrote it, right, like one of those, if I wrote it, like freaking annoying, right? This should have taken place like almost immediately after Jason Todd comes back as Red Hood, right? It's Batman, 635? It should have been immediately after that. Set in that time. Not like in the period of time in which it came out, which it could have, I'm sure, but let's say Hush 2 comes out. It comes out now. No, I guess last year. I think. Yeah, end of 2024. Hush 2 comes out. And you can go, actually, this takes place a year or two after Jason Todd comes back. Or something, right? You can establish that. It doesn't have to be mainline. I think that's the biggest problem with Hush 2, is that these characters are acting the way they would have like 20 years ago, right? That's what it feels like. Like the characterizations are like, what? This guy hasn't acted like this since like 2015. Or since Rebirth even, like started like 2016, right? And they're making choices and decisions. Also, I mean, I talked about Failsafe, right, and how it like ties into like Night Terrors and then Gotham War. There is a sequence in this that is just Gotham War, where the Bat family is like, Bruce, you're out of line. We need to stop you, and he's like, no, I made the right choice. I'm making the right decision, which is directly out of Gotham War. Right, when he's like, no, you can roll over for the criminal element, but I can't. Right, classic, right? And, here's my deal. Batman, I think it was issue 8, as of the time of recording this, I think it was issue 8 of the new run, has come out. Whatever the issue is that has Poison Ivy and the little Alan Scott stuff with Bruce and Poison Ivy and Vandal Savage, like that whole sequence, that's come out. I think that was last week as of making this. Like, we are 8 issues in to the new Batman arc. Or, series. It's not, it is technically, right, it's an arc, but this is, like, the new series has started. It's going. We're in. And the ending of Batman Hush 2 is supposed to connect that somehow. Like, we have this dope ass costume for Batman right now. We have and Tim Drake. They're spoilers. Tim's not Robin anymore, I guess, or whatever. Which I'm like, well, like, what about Damian? Conversation for a later day, right? I think that's the biggest problem here. Oh, also, the Red Hood series got canceled after one issue, right? Which is fine. That first issue was pretty... the spit analogy? What were we doing there? Why? Why did that even... Aren't we supposed to have editors? Aren't we supposed to have people that go, maybe not that. Maybe not that. No, let's hit the drawing board on that a little bit. Or don't we have that in place to save that? Right? Hold on, coffee break. It's ice cold. It's been sitting out for like 3 hours or something. I don't know. What time is it? I don't remember when I got up. Besides the point, right? Right. Here we are, right? Here we are. God, my hair's a freaking mess. I think, what were we just talking about? Oh, Red Hood series, right? Like, I have a conspiracy theory, too, regarding the Red Hood series. I have my conspiracy theories. Maybe one day we'll all get into that. Who knows? Oh, and okay, here's my other thing. So Huntress was supposed to be a big part of the Red Hood series, which the romantic thing between Jason and Helena, if you really want, I'm sure that would have made a lot of people very happy to an extent. I'm sure. Does it make sense in the context of current Batman family dynamic? I don't think so. Chardonnay break. I'm sure that'll be the thumbnail. If you want. If you want them to be in love. Or just banging on the side. You can have that. I'm sure. I'm sure there are people that would have been really happy about that. I think it's kind of stupid, me personally. If you had to ask me. Okay. Tangent. Moving back in. And this is what I'm saying. So Huntress shows up in Hush 2. And that's a moment where you go, this could have been just like in the main series. You could keep it in the main series. Do a Batman Year One. Where, was it 404 to 407? It's just Batman Year One. It's just a 4-issue in the middle of the main run. Here you go, retelling origin. Frank Miller. I'm going to say his name wrong. Massachusetts. I said his name wrong. I'm sorry. Like, you could just have bomb right there. Then you do a Year Two. They did the same thing with Year Two, right? It's just in the middle of, or that was in Detective Comics, which is actually different, right? Speaking of Detective Comics, Leslie Tompkins helping to save the Joker was one of the most disrespectful, stupid moments of the entirety of Hush 2. I am so sorry. When she started doing that, I'm like, pack it up, folks. What are we doing? Are you out of your goddamn mind? Why would... Cut back to the ending of Hush. That era of Batman. You can even push it to 2008 before New 52. New 52 started in 2011, right? Yes. Even push that before Battle for the Cowl. Push that to, that version of Bruce would have saved the Joker. We're in the Rebirth era. War of Jokes and Riddles has happened. That's real. The entirety of the Tom King run happened. That's real. Right? Speaking of Rebirth, Damian Wayne. You know what I'm going to say. To Damian Wayne breaking Bane out of prison was one of the most asinine, didn't need to happen, what the fuck are we even talking about moments in the entirety of Hush 2. In the entirety of Hush 2. And then Bruce knocking him out in one punch, which was dope. That was definitely a hell yeah moment in Hush 2. Was also like a, but what? What? If it was that easy to knock out Bane in just one bomb of a shot, hitting him with that David Tua left hook, right? Like coming at him with the Foreman jab overhand right, bro. Like, did Foreman use an overhand right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think Foreman used the overhand right. What was the signature punch? Was it the left uppercut? It may have been an uppercut. Damn, I need to call my boy. He's a way bigger boxing guy than me. That is besides the point. We're not talking about boxing right now. right? Fucking giving him the Hitman Hearns, like, or the Haggler. He hit him with the Haggler leaping like left jab, right? The left cross. Like, that was, if that's what it took to beat Bane, Nightfall didn't have to fucking happen, right? Like, that's, like, what are we talking about? Such point. And then the moment where he goes, this is for Alfred. Damian would have done that. He watched Bane kill Alfred fucking in front of him in City of Bane. We remember that. And it's a huge part of the recent Batman stuff, like with like the Pennyworth Manor or whatever, or like when they're in the like that downtown district of the modern Batman stuff. Hey, where's Duke Thomas? I'm going to get upset. Where the fuck is Duke Thomas? We had a whole series for Damian Wayne where he's like, I need to go to the murder island and hang out with Flatline to figure out, like, oh, I really actually am handling this really poorly. You remember that? Yeah, same, right? It was like 20 issues or something. Maybe not that long. I think that was 2021, right? Someone could correct me on that too. Chardonnay break. Damn, that's nasty. $10 Chardonnay. That's how they get you. If I made a mimosa, it would have been fine. That's actually really good. I've made mimosas with alcohol talk break. I've made mimosas with this shit before. Delicious. Really good. Any orange juice and it would taste good. Straight through the bottle. I don't have any more orange juice. I drank all my orange juice. So what are you going to do? Back to the topic at hand. So this entire run breaks down to these characters would not act like this, man. What are we doing? They don't act like this anymore. We have kept elements of New 52, right? We've kept elements of post-crisis, right? Damian Wayne breaking Bane out of prison, out of Blackgate, I think he says. Not only was that stupid and made no sense, and genuinely, honestly, had nothing to do with the main plot. I'm sorry. If you want to really replicate Hush, they should have called in Superman. Damian being like, I called in Superman. But they wanted to have their this is for Alfred moment, right? Which, again, dope. Any this is for Alfred moment in a modern Batman comic, we can get down with. We like it. We like it. For Alfred, bro. Pennyworth up, baby. But Bane? But fucking Bane? Why? Why? What was the purpose of that? I feel myself getting sicker because I'm drinking. It's like 9:30 a.m. Besides the point. The point being, it's just a level of like, why? Yeah. Why? Right? Right? That's what it feels like. And there should have been a little bit of like, meanwhile, after 2 years after Jason Todd returns as the Red Hood, that should have been like a little introductory thing. Here's what I mean. Look, they didn't want to make it a limited series. I get it. Batman Hush was in the main line. It was 608 to 619. Someone can correct me on that. I'm pretty sure it was till 619. I get it. The original Hush was in the mainline continuity. It was in the main series. And they wanted to keep that going. That's a classic. Once again, referencing year one, right? That's a classic. It's not Dark Knight Returns where we can do a 4-issue limited. Like we're talking mainline Batman. I get it. I get why they did it. But if they do 163, issue 163, it's probably going to be a one-shot. I honestly believe. And it's going to be, okay, here are my predictions. If you watch Creepcast, this is what we call a bear trap. But me Kenyon, One Nagoon, hit me up. Let's have fun. Let's talk. Let's just have a conversation. Just because I'm a big fanboy mainly, but, whatever. Okay, so we can go It's going to be a one-shot. It should be a one-shot. The ending of Hush 2, H2SH. We can do that. We can make that happen. We can make that happen. We can make it happen if you want, right? And it's going to be a double size. I do believe it's going to be a double size because I think they're going to try and add some stuff in because enough of the new Batman run has come out where they can go, oh, we should add this thing in. We should do this thing to make X, Y, and Z line up with blank. I do believe that. I do believe they're going to do, hopefully that didn't just like blow out the fucking mic. But I do believe they're going to do that. I do believe that. And if it's also going to be $7.99 cover price, I'm calling it right now, $7.99. If they do a double size issue or just like a square bound issue, and then suddenly it's like it's going to be $7.99. I'm calling it right now. I have also a conspiracy theory. I think, look, Jim Lee's a busy guy. He's the CEO of DC now. All the power to him. Congratulations to him, right? He's been the CEO for 5 years? Probably longer, maybe less. I think longer. No, probably 5 years. I don't remember. I should have checked. He's a busy guy, and his art is so. It's a tough art style, man. You know, he comes from the Image, cross-hatching, the really specific line detail. Once again, the first Hush, All-Star Batman and Robin, even his original Uncanny X-Men run, going into X-Men, the 91 series, right, the second series, he's got a very distinct style. And one of the reasons Hush worked is because Sinclair and Williams, they know his style. They know how to work on his style, right? And that being said, I do feel that they were getting pages that were half done. This is my conspiracy theory. I feel they were getting pages that were half done, and the reason why the release schedule for Hush 2 was so asinine, because it was supposed to be done before the new Batman series. And it wasn't, as we know. We're 8 issues in. We're 8 months in, right? And I think Scott Williams and Sinclair were like, oh my God, we gotta make up for these unfinished pages. We gotta and again, that's not to say it's because Jim Lee's a busy guy. CEO of DC. A lot has been happening with DC over the last 3 years, right? Got a lot going on. He's a busy man, right? His art hasn't faltered either. A lot of artists, you see their art now and you go damn, man. There's some artists that just get better over time. I was actually talking to my boss about this recently. Art Adams has gotten better over time, Neil Adams, before he passed, was getting, his art just stayed consistently good, right? And got better as he got older. Rest in peace, Neil Adams, right? I would say the same thing about Sam Keith. Rest in peace, Sam Keith, bro. He just passed. Very unfortunate. Love Sam Keith. What a dude. His especially his tech stuff. Whew, he drew Batman just like a freaking behemoth. He was huge. And I love when people draw Batman really big. Frank Miller, an unfortunate case of an artist whose art has not stayed consistent. Let's say that. I would say the same thing about JR. What are we talking about right now? We're talking about Hush 2. Let's get back to the subject at hand. Guys, I talked about this in the last video, in the failsafe video. Have we lost the plot with Batman? And to answer my earlier question, no, we haven't. Because the new Batman arc fucking rules. It is awesome. It's so good. It is so good. It's so good. Just phenomenal stories. Phenomenal art. Great character moments. Just a lot of good pieces have gone into this series. and has answered my earlier question. No, we haven't lost the plot of Batman. I think there are just missteps. And it feels, Hush 2 feels like a misstep in the truest way I can say this. It does. It just does. And I think a lot of it just stems from the fact of it feels like we just abandoned 20 years of character development, 3 crisis events, more? New 52, and like Flashpoint, Rebirth with Dr. Manhattan, and then technically Future State. There was Dark Crisis, but like what really came out of Dark Crisis? Well, let's get real. Future State, Infinite Frontier, All In. I guess Absolute technically is like was the child of a crisis event technically, right? Does DCKO count as I don't know. We've gone through a lot of crisis events over the last 20 fucking years. And this just feels like pre-New 52, pre-Battle for the Cowl, like Bruce Wayne getting blasted through time arc. This is like pre-2011 Batman and Robin, Grant Morrison run, Frank Quietly run, Dick Grayson's Batman shit. This is that kind of characterization. That's just like, remember when Bruce shot Jason Todd in the head? What the fuck was that? What was that? Why? Just why? The Batman suit they did use, though, was cool. Big fan of that Batman design. Big fan of that Batman suit. I liked it a lot, actually. That's what Jim Lee does, man. I just, again, though it doesn't beat the new Batman suit. Jorge Jimenez knocks it out of the park every goddamn time. He can't miss. Incapable of missing, one might even suggest. Guys, if you take anything from this, I'm just sitting here. I'm a comic reader. I love comic books. I'm the manager of a comic book store. That tells you what I love about comics, right? I am just sitting here and I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. I just feel that, and you know what? And I'll even say this. People are acting it's like the worst Batman story in like years. It's not. And I honestly believe that if they do the last issue, not Batman 163, I bet it's going to be the one shot like we discussed. I bet they can save this. I mean that. I bet they can save this. I bet it can all come back together. It's going to be a banging issue, $7.99 cover price, and it's going to save this entire arc. I mean that. I do believe that. I do mean that. It's just the state we're in currently is not phenomenal. Chardonnay break. It's nasty. Coffee break. Immediately followed by the coffee break. I just believe that where we're at now could be better. I do think they could save it. It's not the worst Batman read in the last 20 years, in the last 10 years, in the last 5 years, honestly. I made an entire video about what I think is the worst Batman read in the last 5 years. Is it good? No. I think it's really bad on the basis of the characterization alone. But it's still salvageable. And as long as we have the current Batman run, I think we'll be okay. I think we'll make it in the end. And if I were in the shoes of Jeff Loeb, we need to just reestablish the plot, man. Right? We just need to reestablish the plot. These are not the same characters that they were in 2003, right? A lot has changed in the last 20 years about how these characters interact and work together. And I think, again, salvageable, but we got to get there. We just got to get there. Can we? Yes, absolutely we can. And again, as far as I'm aware, no scheduled release of Batman 163, issue 163, the ending of the Hush stuff, the H2SH stuff. I think it should be a single issue, if you had to ask me. But at the end of the day, these are my thoughts, these are my opinions, my perspective of things. There's more I feel I could say. I'd be beating a dead horse a little bit because, again, these are characterization moments that just don't work anymore. They just don't exist. They just don't exist anymore. In 2006, sure, it should have taken place then. Mainline continuity, absolutely not. As soon as Damian shows up in the gray suit with Bane helping him, it's out the goddamn window. It's out the window. As soon as you have Leslie Tompkins trying to save the Joker's life, it is out the window. It's out the window. Anyway, that's my 10 cents on the matter. Take it or leave it. Again, these are my thoughts. These are my opinions. Who knows? Maybe I'll keep uploading videos to continue. There's some new comic stuff that I've been reading that I would like to discuss more. I kind of want to do a Red Hood video on that series that got canceled. I've been thinking about it. Let me know what you think. My name is Junior. Zonkpollen. Homemade firearm in the bombnoid. Follow me on Instagram at zonkpollen. Right? We have fun here, guys. It is about to be 10 a.m. Or like 9:40, I guess. Yeah. I hope you have a great day. Take care of yourself. Love the people around you. Thank you all so much for watching, if you watched. Oh, again, hopefully I'll stay consistent on making videos. We'll see. I guess we'll see. Thank you so much. Batman, Hush 2, DC Comics, for life, for love. From Love, Junior. And you have a great rest of your day. Take care of yourself. All right. Bye-bye.